Hey guys, how's it going? That's how I used to start all of my videos, and this was like the room where I shot a lot of my videos. So today we're gonna be doing another story time with Brandon. So I did a version of this where I won my first yo-yo contest, and you guys were like really commenting really like heartfelt stuff about how you guys got into yo-yoing, and you guys all seem to really enjoy that video. I'm gonna be perfectly honest, that was just the beginning. You guys think that's my entire yo-yo origin story? If this is like a timeline, there's like, alright, there's yo-yo ability, it goes up, and then it goes up, and then I peak, right? We're gonna go through the peak part, and then I crash and burn and fizzle out, and we get to where we are now. But this is the exciting part. This is when I was the freaking man. So, buckle up, this is gonna be part 2 of my yo-yo origin story. Let's begin exactly where we picked off. So 2012, I finally win my first yo-yo contest. And all of a sudden, I know how to win yo-yo contests, at least in Australia. I just need to play faster and more consistent than the next guy, and then my trick set will carry me to a win. That's all I needed to do. So at this point, I'm feeling pretty good about myself. So Sydney Yo-Yo contest is held the second year. Now all of a sudden when I rock up, I'm the guy to beat. Remember when I used to go to a contest, I used to look at Vuho and I used to think, man, he's so cool. He's so cool, he's so epic. But I also looked at him as like, well, he's the guy to beat. Like, as long as I do better than him, you know, I could potentially win this contest. And all of a sudden, now, that was me, you know? That was me. I was the guy that was on top and I had to defend the title. Meaning that anyone was coming up, I had to like, beat them down. Okay, I never beat anyone down, but I did defend the title. This freestyle is 2013. This is where I'm the top at the moment. I'm the winning guy. Everyone's trying to beat me, and this is my first yo-yo contest trying to defend a title. Now, keep in mind, this is still the Sydney Yo-Yo contest. It's a 2-minute freestyle. Again, still 2 minutes. It's not national, so I'm not actually a national yo-yo champion yet. But everyone who's actively yo-yoing in Australia is rocking up to this competition. So I'll show you guys a little bit. I'm not sure if I want to show you guys the entire thing though.
Give it up for Brandon Wu.
Alright, look at that. I'm skinny, I've got like a... Oh, I'm using the Irony JP 2013. Oh, I messed this part up. That was a big mess. Oh! This freestyle is terrible! Oh my goodness! Oh yeah, starting with that this time. Oh, what? There was a miss there! Oh, it's barely horizontal. Gentry would roast the life out of that. Oh my god! I had a... Oh man, I had a restart there. That was -1, man. I think this is where I start to get into the groove a little bit. But this freestyle is not... I imagined I like dominated with this freestyle, and no, this is not good. As you can see, very, very similar tricks to last year. I don't have a whole lot of new tricks. This is probably one of the new tricks that I have, and it's pretty bad. It's not a very good trick. So you can see that, like, because I didn't have anyone to actively strive to beat, I plateau a little bit. Oh man. Yeah, I still have the speed. I remember this. Body grind! That's Brad. Brad might actually be watching this video. It was the funniest thing. I remember Stu, who was judging, cracked up on that because he said it because, I don't know if I'm over-explaining the joke right now, but like, I hit myself in the chest and it just like slides off the shirt and it's like, body grind, that's a trick. Oh, that's funny. Oh god, this is a god-awful freestyle. I'm glad. Oh, this was one new trick. Oh, that behind the back branding. That was inspired by Marcus Coe, Christopher Chia. Yeah. I bombed that one. I don't know why. Every single time it seems as if I'm prepared for a yo-yo contest, I bomb it, and whenever I like rock up with like no practice, I like crush that. I don't know, I'm not a guy that gets nervous very easily either. I love the stage. I love talking to people. I love public speaking. I love communicating. These are all things I really like. So I don't know why for the first couple years, even though I had practiced, I kept bombing freestyles. What I will say is that now that I've resaw that freestyle, I won that year. So I did win that year. I didn't win by much. And I remember I won by like a small margin, and Vuho, who came second, he had a change out. So we both didn't have the best tricks, the best execution on the day, but I was lucky enough that like my trick set just inched me ahead of him. So that was my second competition win. And it's at this point where ANYC all of a sudden starts to get back in. Now, ANYC is the Australian National Yo-Yo Championships. This is the contest that's recognized under IYYF, and if I win this contest, I can go around and I can look at someone in the eye and say, yeah, I'm the Australian National Yo-Yo Champion. Up until that point, I had never said that. Whenever someone says who's the best in Australia, I would tell them like either Wayne or Vuho. Like, even though I technically beaten them at those contests, I had never become a national yo-yo champion. So, main difference between the national contest and the Sydney contest, I didn't know if I could take down the other big competitors like Vu in a 3-minute routine, because 3 minutes you need more tricks, and I didn't have that very many tricks. All the tricks that I had were the tricks you see in those freestyles. So I remember thinking to myself, man, if I go up against Vu, who's got a whole bunch of tricks, who's spent so much time around other players, who's got like this entirely really large trick set, I might lose. And I don't want to be the guy that's like crushing the Sydney Yo-Yo contest for 2 years, and then when it comes down to like the national contest, where it's like the Australian national title is up for grabs, I bombed. But I decided to use a slightly different practice technique. Up until then, I had just been repping out freestyles again and again and again and again. And as you can see, when I go to perform the freestyle on the final day, it's sloppy. So I remember for 2014, I didn't run through the freestyle as much as possible. Rather, what I did was I just grinded individual tricks to music, and I would do it in the freestyle order. I wouldn't even yo-yo to the actual music, and I was able to put in more practice without it feeling super boring. So, alright, 2 years in a row, I've won, right? The tensions are high. Me versus Vu. There's another guy called Sao who's also in the competition, and we are the three that are gunning for this Australian national yo-yo title, okay? Vu and I, at this point, we're both on word. We're both using word ironies. We're both Vietnamese Australians. We're both got Vu on our names. We're like the top two of the Australian national yo-yo world, and this time, it's in Adelaide, and the only memory I have of Adelaide up until this point is where I got my ass kicked by Vu the previous year. So I was nervous. I was coming in thinking, man, there is potential for me to lose. Like, I just know that, you know, just because you won the last 2 years doesn't mean you're gonna win this year. So I was nervous. I had tried this new practice technique, so the practice didn't feel as hard and laborious. So I was like, maybe am I under-practiced? I'm not sure. And then, this is the ANYC 2014 routine. Okay, I'll play this one through. Alright, I remember I do a trick at the first, but like the cameraman cuts it out, but it's all good. We get the rest of the freestyle. Alright, let's do this. Yeah. You can see my tricks are different now. I've got more of them, and I'm just like spamming clicks. Because all I know at this point is that a string hit is a click. That's all I know about the scoring system. So there's a lot of repeated elements. This freestyle wouldn't crush it today, but yeah. Ooh, a whole inverted thing. Oh, I missed it there. By now, this trick set is consolidated. I've been doing that trick for 3 years, so I'm getting pretty clean at it now. Speed combo. Yeah. And I'm going fast too, because these tricks are simple. I can go faster than most players at this point. Oh, almost screw it up there. No, this is a weird trick. I haven't seen that in ages. Oh, I almost get a knot here. I remember that. I'm like, oh crap, how do I get out of this? What? But then I recover. Okay, oh good, I recover. Gosh, there's so many repeated elements in this. This freestyle wouldn't score today. Oh! If anyone's got my Yoyo, if anyone's ever got my Yoyo expert trading card, that was like my picture for the longest time. And that is the exact moment in history, in time, where I do that trick. I'm like, that is the exact moment. So, yeah, just in case you guys were wondering where that picture came from, it was a screen grab from this. Oh. I remember I messed that up, but because I'm so fast and comfortable with this front style now, I just repeated it, did it slightly faster so it would match with the music. I wasn't supposed to do it that fast, I'm just like, crank through this because you're running out of time. And it was all good. Ah yes, this is where this arm combo starts to find its rhythm. Boom! I remember showing this video to Gentry and he was like, dude, that like behind the arm thing, the way you presented it there made it look so much more difficult than the way you present it now. Try to present it like that. So that was just something I thought I would mention. Yeah. All right. Woo! And you guys have all seen that trick? Oh, I messed this up. I get a restart here. Ah. Yeah, so that was the Australian national routine. I'm of the belief that in terms of relatively speaking, is the best I've ever been at yo-yoing in relation to like everybody else. Meaning like that, not in terms of absolute like ability, I'm better than I am now than I was back then. Relative ability, that was probably like my peak of yo-yo ability. All right, so at around this time, I'm like dominating Australia. So I just won like 3 contests in a row. And I'm like, I'm the freaking man. Like, let's go on to bigger and better things. Let's go to the international scene. Let's go win worlds. Let's take everything down. This is gonna be great. I'm unstoppable. And I remember one thing that I do at this point that not a lot of other yo-yo players do. I started a YouTube channel. And this is, and if I hadn't started this YouTube channel, I would not be like I'm not that good a yo-yo player, to be perfectly honest with you guys. I'm not that good. But how I'm able to compensate for that is I'm able to break down what I'm doing. I'm able to kind of give the audience an insight. So at around this point, I think it might have been slightly earlier than this, I make a decision. And this decision is in part, well, there's 3 reasons I do it. 1, because I learned so much from YouTube. I learned so much from Andre Boulay, and I felt as if I was obligated now, as a player, to give back to the resource, YouTube being that resource, give back to the resource that had essentially taught me how to yo-yo. That was the first thing. The second thing was, at the time, this is 2013, 2014, there weren't a lot of yo-yo players that were talking in front of the camera like I'm doing now. In 2013, 2014, it was very like Jensen had just like tore the scene up, and it was very like trick videos. People would upload like angsty trick videos to the same angsty beats, and it would just be players flexing on each other, showing them who had the cool tricks. And I remember thinking to myself, man, I've had to learn all of these like competitive things by myself. Like, what if there was a yo-yo player that was like pretty good at yo-yoing, that didn't necessarily have to yo-yo while he was posting YouTube videos, but he just spoke in front of the camera. He spoke about topics like what it's like to compete, or like how do you like change strings during a competition? What should you wear during yo-yo competitions? Like, how do you do magic drops? Like things that weren't necessarily hardcore tutorials, but were like more conversations around the yo-yoing world. And I was like, I'm getting alright at yo-yo. I'm not the best, alright? I'm not the world champion where I'm like, you know, but I'm better than like, let's say like this is like the world of competitive yo-yoing at this point. I'm probably like right in the middle. So like, why don't I just make this YouTube channel? Why don't I just try to teach people what I've learned? And it doesn't even have to be tutorials. I can just talk in front of camera. In fact, I remember at the time, the two YouTubers I was watching the most was, the first one was Ryan Higa. Ryan Higa. For those of you guys who don't know him, he was like a big time OG YouTuber. In fact, here's something I've never told anyone. The reason I say, hey guys, how's it going, is because he starts his videos with hey guys, right? And I was like, I mean, I gotta find some way to start the video, so I just say hey guys, and then I added the how's it going to change it up a little bit, but that's where I got it from. The second person I was really into at the time was this very, very small YouTube channel by today's standards, was Durian Rider. And I remember he was this vegan, cyclist, endurance athlete, and I remember distinctly about him was that he didn't have a whole bunch of fancy equipment. You know, he didn't have a whole fancy bunch of editing. His videos were shot, the lighting was crappy, but the thing that drew me to him was that he could tell a story. He wasn't the best cyclist, but he told stories about cycling. He broke down the nuances, like what do you drink, like how do you power up, and stuff like that. So I wanted to be, at the time, I wanted to be the Durian Rider of yo-yos. I'm not the best yo-yoer, but I am the yo-yoer that's gonna take the time to break things down that most other professional top-level yo-yoers aren't gonna take the time to do. Alright? Alright, so with that preface aside, I post my first video, and do you guys want to see the first video I have with this thesis? You know, it's not as if I just started my YouTube channel and then it like blew up immediately. I grinded like probably 10, 20, 30, 40 videos, and they got like 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 views. And this is the first video I ever uploaded. Alright. Oh my goodness. Oh god. If anyone ever comes up to me being like, Brandon, I want to start YouTube, I'll be like, this is where I started, okay? 2013. So this was before I won ANYC. Alright, let's take a look at this.
So hey guys, today I'm just gonna be making a quick video on a topic that I don't think is really widely discussed in the yo-yo community, and that's yo-yo changes. And
oh my god.
Ways you can learn this, obviously, and that's by making the mistake and learning from it. So in this video, what I'm gonna attempt to do is kind of teach you or explain to you the most efficient way to change a yo-yo and why it is so important. So let's get into it.
Oh my goodness, that is atrocious. I don't know how to jump cut at this point, and I'm just like, I think the most important line inside this video is that
I don't think is really widely discussed.
I don't think is really widely discussed. Now, a lot of kids come up to me and they're like, Brandon, I want to start a YouTube channel in the yo-yoing world, and I'm not really sure where to start. And I think the only strategy that I used to grow my YouTube channel at the time, this is 2013, this is relatively early, right, was that post consistently, and discuss topics that are not widely discussed. Okay, that's very easy to do in the yo-yoing world because there's a lot of pro players that know a lot that don't make videos to teach other people. Okay, those were the only two things I knew about YouTube at the time. Now there's like a million things like video retention, click-through rate, titles, all of that. And I'm gonna learn all of that. But at the time, it was so early. I was early to the platform, right? And I was the first guy to be like, you know what? I'm not gonna yo-yo. I'm gonna let my personality, I barely had any personality at that point, do the talking. And like, I'll show you guys actually. I'll show you guys. This is my channel analytics of all time, right? So I'm getting like 64, 60, 96, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden I start posting in See, and again, 2013, right? I started that in 2013. I'm getting like 93 views a day, 73 views, 75. That means every single video I'm posting every single week is getting like 5, 10 views. 96, 91, 102. Like, this is a grind. 71, January 2014. 2014, 84 views, 86 views, 58 views, 319 views, and then all of a sudden, it creeps up slowly. Like, there's a lot of yo-yoing YouTubers, like Gentry or Ben Condi, that like have this like one epic viral video, and like they get like 50,000 or 20,000 subscribers in like a single day. That's never happened to me. I've never gone viral. The only way I know how to grow a YouTube channel, a community of people, is just grind videos. And then eventually that line starts to go up. So 2014, now I'm starting to pull views, all right? All of a sudden people are like, hey, this Brandon guy's kind of cool. What's going on? What's going on? And then it's starting to go up. Now I'm starting to pull up views. And then I start being recognized as this weird Australian kid in YouTube. And I all of a sudden, everyone's like, oh, he's the OG like yo-yo YouTuber. Dude, no way. There were countless yo-yoing YouTubers before me. In fact, I'll put Andre in that category. There were players like Jeffrey Pang, Grant Johnson, Josh Yee. Oh man, there are so many. That like, even like Gentry was posting trick videos around this time. Like, there were so many people, like there were way more people that had done this yo-yoing YouTube thing before I had. But what I did was I was like, okay, competitive yo-yo player, and I'm not interested in flexing with my tricks because I don't have very many tricks. My tricks are simple, they're very easy to do, they're very easy to replicate, and they're very similar to Hiroki Suzuki's tricks anyway. What if I was like, okay, I'm gonna become the guy that talks about yo-yos, that can do decently well at competition and give people advice on that. And I think that was the one thing that I was first at. No one really did that before me, I don't think. If someone did, I'm more than like, comment down below and I'll give you credit for it. But I don't think anyone did that before me. And you know, this whole, and like yo tricks kind of goes in that direction now, but not a lot of people have done it since. So, all of a sudden, this YouTube channel is starting to grow. I'm pulling like 3,000, like thousands of views a day now, and it's like, whoa, what's going on, man? And all of a sudden, this YouTube channel becomes like the thing I'm known for. People are like, oh yeah, he yo-yos a little bit, right? But like, they were like, oh yeah, he's that yo-yoing YouTube guy. All right, that's important because the next part of this phase is Brandon Vu goes international. This is my 1 year. I graduate from high school, okay, and I get a pretty decent grade, which allows me to go into the university that my parents want me to go to, okay? So I get the grade, I study hard, I grind, I get the grade, and I'm gonna go to study economics at the University of Sydney. My dad, this wasn't even my idea, my dad tells me, he's like, listen Brandon, you know, if you go straight into uni, you're gonna be like every other kid at uni. What I want to give you the gift of is I want to give you a year off. I want to give you a year off for you to find your passion. He had grand ideas for me at the time. He thought I was gonna take this year off and I was gonna go write a book, and I was gonna go to China, and I was gonna learn fluent Mandarin, and I was gonna become this epic thing. And all I wanted to do in this year was to go to yo-yo contests. So, this is something I've never told anyone. Like, I was bankrolled for a freaking year. Which kid in the entire world, like, people talk about entitled rich kids, like, that was me. Like, my parents, they're not like super rich. They're probably like upper middle class. But like, I got this one opportunity of a freaking lifetime. It's not as if I like, you know, worked a whole bunch and had like a whole bunch of money and then went on this like year sabbatical. It was like, my parents would literally top up my freaking bank account as I was going across the world, gallivanting and just trying to figure out my life. I'm appalled, and the reason I never told anyone about this, especially the YouTube community, especially like the yo-yoers that watched me on YouTube, was that I was kind of ashamed of it. Like, I knew what a incredibly fortunate position I was in. So a lot of people at the time were like, Brandon, you know, you're so big on YouTube, does YouTube pay you? And they were paying me, but they were paying me like maybe $300 a month on AdSense, which is nowhere near enough to finance the lifestyle that I was having at the time. Like, I was just going across the world, different places, and that was how I was able to go around all of these content. But all of that preface aside, what happened was that while I was in the US, I decided, hey, why don't I attend some US yo-yo contests? So the first ever international contest me, Brandon Vu, attends is BAC. And man, this is a fun memory to look back on. Like, I remember two things going up to the contest. One, I wanted to make myself into a more technical player. I used to think that, like, alright, America, that's the home of tech. That's where like Jensen and Yuki and all of that, all these tech players, that's where they live. Whereas in Japan, like Hiroyuki Suzuki, Shinya Kido, those were all the speed players live. And I thought to myself that if I wanted to win in the US, I would need to have more tech because that's the kind of stuff that they like there. It wasn't a very intelligent decision. I had no idea of how the scoring system actually happened, but in any case, I fly down to San Francisco, stay at a relative's place, and then they drive me over to BAC. And I'm like, alright, cool. I'm gonna be like I can guarantee I'm gonna be the only Australian yo-yo player at BAC. No one's gonna freaking know who I am, but whatever, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna compete. Alright, now keep in mind, up until this point, I hadn't lost a contest in like 3 years. I'm a pretty arrogant young kid at the moment. And for the first time since ANYC 2011, I get my ass completely handed to me. Anyway, I'll show you guys freestyle. So I start off with a tech trick that I hadn't really done before. That didn't work. Oh, I still got that though. Now I threw a speed combo in because this is the only way I know how to play. I only know how to play fast. This is a Takeshi inspired trick. This is like a techie kind of looking thing. But again, nowhere near like actual real tech. But I put that in because I was just like, alright, I want to try to be more techie. You can hear the kids cheering in the back. I'll get to that. Oh, missed that. You know, this routine's pretty good. This is as far as like the routines I've seen myself do, like this is alright. I remember I was just focusing on landing this upside down green triangle. Hey, I got it. Oh, cross arm, sorry. I remember I do something with my leg here. Like, I didn't rehearse that. I remember like, I was like, I want to do something with my leg. I don't know why. And then I do that, I lose focus and I almost get hit in the face. Watch that, and then... Whoa! Retard. That was supposed to bind. People were impressed by that. Like, that's because not many people were doing that trick. Everyone in Australia had seen that trick before, though. And I messed it up. Okay, so I didn't win. I remember Andrew Mader won that year. And there were like a lot of good players that year. I think Andrew Mader won. All I remember was that Nate Daly was there and he did really well. I think he came like 4th. I can't remember 1st, 2nd, 3rd, but like there were a lot. Like I remember Tessa Pichillo was there. Gosh, there were a lot of really good players there. I came in 15th. And I remember at this point thinking, it's not like, I remember thinking how I felt in 2011, and it's like, it's not that these players are significantly better than me, but I think it might be that these players understand the scoring system. There's something about the scoring system that I'm not quite understanding yet. Anyway, to my surprise, again, I'm a kid in Australia, I'm traveling alone, right? And all of a sudden, all of these kids, all of these people, they know who I am. And I'm like, how the heck do you guys know who I am? Like, I've never met any of you guys. All I do, I'm an Australian yo-yo player. I was expecting having to like make all these cold introductions. And all of a sudden, all of these people knew who I was. And they knew me because of the YouTube channel. And I was like, oh. And this is the weirdest thing. Like, anyone who's got a YouTube channel, like when you see 1,000 views on your video, right? What you forget to realize is that that's 1,000 people. Like, try to like 1,000 people is more people than like most schools have in a hall, right? But when your video bombs and it only gets like 700 views or 300 views or I don't know, like 1,200 views, and you're like, oh, whatever. Like, you forget to like intellectualize how many people are on the other side of that screen. So for the first time ever, I rock up to this American contest, and all of these kids know who I am, and I'm like, hey, there might be something in this YouTube thing. But there are a bunch of photos that I take with everyone around me, and I remember, this is something I do remember, all of a sudden, I meet Gentry as I'm going to like the bathroom. And I remember this like it was like a couple weeks ago, but I like walked to the bathroom and I saw him. He was unmistakable, and he was the world champion at the time. Like, talk about like, this was like the tippy top of yo-yoing at the time. And I was like, whoa, you're like a lot taller than I expected you to be. And like, your voice is a lot deeper. And like, you're just a big towering figure. And he was like a really nice guy as well. Like, he agreed to like shoot a yo-yo tutorial for like my YouTube channel. Like, I like put a GoPro and like messed up his hair, and it was like, that was weird. And then like I went out and I had like dinner with like, I think it was Gentry, Zach, and Andrew Mader. Andrew Mader won the contest. Zach was gonna be the person who won Worlds in 2015, and then Gentry. And I was like, whoa! All of a sudden I'm part of like, I'm with like this elite group of people, not because of my yo-yo skill, but because I've got this YouTube channel. And that was like the weirdest thing ever. I mean, there's a whole lot of stuff that happens in this year. I go to MA States. Now, if anyone wants to know what goes down in MA States, I make a fool of myself. I do the same routine I did there, but I do it with a change out. I think I get like 5th or 6th at MA States, but if I hadn't got the change out, I would have been like top 3, so that was interesting to me. And then after this, it's time to go to Singapore, Asia Pacific, in the Asian arena. And man, I really want to get into all of that, but I think this video has gone ridiculously long. I'm gonna save that for next time, but if you guys enjoy these story time videos, comment down below, let me know what story you guys want me to tell next, and that's pretty much it. Any comments, questions, criticisms, post them down below, and I'll see you guys next time.